Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, the Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. It is Thursday, and it's been one of those choppy weeks. Not an easy week, to say the least, at least not for me. We've had a nice, I would say, methodical move since the election. Lots of rotation among sectors, lots of nice patterns breaking out, and then basically this week started on Monday with a leg sweep, of last week's complacency, and then it's been choppy back and forth with, just a different feel to it. If you look overall at the chart of the S&P cash, we're still in this accelerated uptrend until it breaks, right? Here it is. Pretty much draw your line from when it broke out. When did it break out? When it broke above this descending trend line and took back the 50-day right here. Okay, this is when election night happened, and the next day we were down 20 handles, went up 30 handles, and we, lo and behold, had President-elect Donald Trump. So from here, I guess you could also draw from here. That was a little lazy of me. Basically, this is the accelerated trend. So until this breaks, it might not, you can't get, too bearish, so to speak. But at this point, you still have this island top that's kind of controlling, the next move until it's proven otherwise. Remember I talked about the hairline fracture, the bull that had a lot of momentum from here all the way up. Hairline fracture, does that mean it needs a little rest, which it's been doing for 4 days, and then resumes, or little feeble rallies with some selling underneath the surface for then, more downside to the 50-day or lower? We shall see. We did just get Amazon earnings, and they weren't great. I was dead wrong. I thought that there would be a blockbuster quarter, maybe even a split. Had my bullhorns on, with Alexa. My son loves it. I like playing with it myself. Everyone I know has it, and lo and behold, it just unimpressive. So I had a decent amount of options on that are going to probably be worthless tomorrow. But that's why you go with options. If I had as much stock as I correlated to options, it would be a lot worse. But that's why you always, if you have an opinion and you have a thesis on a name into a binary event like earnings, do not take it with stock. Okay, use options. Do a call spread, do a put spread. I know a lot of guys who are bearish on Apple, and shorted Apple into the print. They got crushed up 9 points instead. They could have lost their money on the premiums of some puts, et cetera, whichever way you want to slice it. So bottom line is the calls will probably be worthless. The stock itself, I think it's trading like 808 right now, so it's below the 21-day. In my humble opinion, why wouldn't it at least see this over time? The 785 is the 50-day. Here's where it broke out from in January, right back to the old highs, okay, and was pricing in something really good, and it wasn't. It was actually like mediocre. If it was any other company, it would probably be getting crushed even more. Who knows what happens? Amazon seems to get a pass, but overall, the options are going to be worthless. And at this point, here is some support. I think they were pricing in a $40 move, so that would bring you back towards this spot here, which is 800-ish. But that's a spot just to look at and see if it bounces off of it. And here's a 50-day. If you remember, when Google came out with earnings, and it failed at 861, I said, guys, do not touch this. If you want to short it, maybe it gets to the 50-day because there's no more momentum. This red dog reversal outside day that took back this prior high is very ugly. So some guys went out shorted on Friday into Monday, got paid, and now it's trying to hold the 50-day. So we'll see if, this was a mixed quarter too. It was strong, but mixed, depending on looking at where it came from. So here, we'll see if this stays in here and develops a bear flag for lower prices. That would probably be bearish for the overall market, or does it try and get back above there? We shall see. So go back to Amazon. That was right back at the highs that really had a good quarter, but it wasn't impressive. Didn't beat the whisper, missed on a few metrics. I would say at least wait to get back to here. And if you short things and you shorted it after the print, congratulations. I just didn't touch the stock. I heard the numbers and I'm like, you know what? It's done. My options are a zero and I'm not going to buy the stock. And, I guess you'll see how it reacts a little bit near this 800, but it could be just an after hours bounce-ish area. But overall, for a swing trade now, it's going to be probably in the penalty box or the momentum penalty box, because by far, the stock has never really been in the penalty box. But at this point near the top, I would just wait. Okay, this is, I would say, support 1, and this is more compelling support to at least see when that happens. It could be tomorrow or it could be, next week. Facebook also, some guys made some good money shorting it pre-market when it was up at like 135, 136. And this looks a lot like Google's candle, right? Here was your prior pivot, went above it, played with it. Some guys made some money short, and then it came back up and went back above it. I actually made a little money long it, and then once it went back below the 133.5, which I was talking about on Twitter, that's your positioning spot. Above it, maybe long, below it, get out, or maybe short. And now this candle is pretty darn ugly. Their quarter, I think, was obviously stronger, versus consensus than Amazon. So it might not break this so easily, but why wouldn't it see this over time? So at this point, you like when generals or high beta names are acting strong, making higher highs, have the potential to break out. That always keeps some juice flowing. We're not going to see that for a while in Google. We won't see that for a while on Facebook now, and now we're not going to see that for a while, in my opinion, in Amazon. Apple was a good report. We'll see if Apple could hang out, hold this earnings gap, and then at some point when you get a nice little flag and it proves it could hold higher, maybe we get another nice trade there. But make sure it holds this 127. If it breaks below this, it could fill some of the gap. I know guys were just buying Microsoft because it had to gap up after earnings, but what did Microsoft do? Did not hold the gap. So if you were playing it versus the gap, if you bought it on this day and said, hey, I'm going to give it to the low here, this is a 64.89, you should have been out on this day. And this way you didn't get caught. Okay, so I'm just saying, Apple's was more solid, has a lot more potential, I think. But anyway, just remember, sometimes they do try and fill gaps. And also just remember, too, if they don't fill the gap, that's how strong it is, and maybe there'll be another trade there. Just to round it out with high beta, BABA, it's coming right on this gap. Just if you're in it still, just make sure it holds this. It might be down because of Amazon. This is your pivot. This is, what's it called? 99-ish or 100-ish. I'm not in it right now. I just didn't like the way it was acting. Netflix lost a little momentum also. Why did it lose momentum? Just because, didn't have a breakout move above here, closed a little bit below the 8-day, closed below 3 of the prior days lows. So this too could lose some momentum and get down towards here. So to me, the high beta tech names, which were so frisky and fun to trade for the past maybe month or two, are now kind of wait and see, test levels, make a little cash flow, not that much fun. At least not like hold a few of them and add and take off. And that's what I was doing for a good 6 weeks, and it did work until it didn't. And then you look at the banks. We have the jobs report tomorrow. You could say some of the discount was already taken out of the way. You had a Goldman Sachs Red Dog reversal up here, and then it broke here, kind of retested it there, and now, it's below the 50-day. So it did hang out today, but we'll see. So maybe the banks could be a look at, but I think this also has lost some momentum, so you want to take care. I am long some of the XLE. I figured maybe money will rotate here just because it's out of tech, and instead of playing momentum, hey, look, I'm going to try and buy a dip. Why did I buy this dip? Because it did a Red Dog reversal, and maybe it continues. I'm also still in the BIOS, the IBB. Why am I still here? Because it had its potent Red Dog reversal here, closed above this, and then you have a nice little bull flag getting created here. So maybe money continues to go there. Amgen's results were pretty good, so that could be helpful. Here's your descending trend line here, might be opening up there tomorrow. But all in all, nice, potent, wide range bar, and now it's having some commitment to it, so maybe there's more to it. That's why I stayed with some. What else is going on here? Let's look at the TLTs, what they do today. TLTs look like they're thinking jobs report's going to be okay tomorrow, I guess, because closed on lows. Hot jobs report means rates up a little bit and TLTs down, but we'll see. Lots of traps out there in the market right now. What else were some guys trading today? They were trading X. Ugh, my nemesis. If I haven't traded this stock and it didn't make me lose money lots of different times in this choppy range, and someone said, hey, look at X. It had a big move, went sideways, opened up, closed above a prior high, engulfed all the moving averages, you should probably take that long. And if I haven't traded in this choppy mess, I'd probably say, hey, yes. But I didn't do it, so that means probably enough people are probably tired from this choppy, rangy mess, and maybe tomorrow we get some upside follow through because it's not tech. But anyway, it was strong, and maybe there is some upside there if money wants to rotate. Let me take a quick look where at 4:30. Where is your Amazon? Oh goodness gracious! Why doesn't things work out easily ever? All right, so Amazon's trading 809, down 30. So whatever. That mean, you know what that means? That means it's just in no man's land. 809. It's below the 21-day. Why would it come back above it? I don't think anyone should be in a rush. Again, just like Google hit the 50-day, and Facebook's going to be, I'll have a lack of momentum. I think Amazon is just going to be something that, it's not the way. This is awesome when it's trading like this, right? Breaks it down trend. You could buy some, add some, sell some, hold some, add some, let it go, take some off, hold some, add some, let it go, and then here's that high, and now all of a sudden, boom, reset. But I don't know why next quarter would be so great. You have holidays out of the way. That Alexa was the hottest thing out there. You have people all worried about Trump. You have the Washington Post. So again, don't be so jumping out of your skin to be buying it because it's down a little bit. I do think you'll get maybe a better chance a little closer to the 785. And that's it. It's Thursday. It's been one of those weeks. That hairline fracture in the bull, I think, is there, and maybe now you have a hairline fracture in the hoof, and it's kind of aching up the quad. And I think that you have to be a little careful here because it could lead to a bigger rest, not just from a momentum standpoint, from a little bit of more of an intermediate standpoint. I'll show you the SPX for tomorrow because I don't do a morning call. I did that already right here. I guess you could try and be long versus this, but if this were to break, the 50-day is all the way down here. That's moving up to old support. So that could be painful if you're sitting through as an active trader. If you're a long-term investor, it doesn't really matter. If you're a short-term trader and you're trying to catch active moves, this outside day, in my opinion, is still in somewhat control, and this trend line to me feels a little vulnerable. We've lost some generals in the momentum arena. Again, I just said them before. And now we'll see if, I guess, the money rotates to keep this thing from, retracing more or not. For me, I'm going to be a little lighter on my feet, look for some scalps, and no more, 6, 7, 8, 9 positions and 6, 7, 8, 9 options, because that's what I've been doing for, 2 to 3 months, and it's been working since the election. But now we got to figure out if the complexion is changing. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.